Hi, this is Miki Wright. I'm back with part two of our Women in Hair Loss segment. And one of the first questions that usually comes up when someone experiences some hair loss is, will my hair grow back? And so today I want to talk a little bit about that. One of the things that it depends on is what is actually causing the hair loss. You know, how long has it been going on? And there's many questions that we need to ask. But when we look at the causes, as I mentioned in the previous video, with men, it's usually fairly simple that it's usually male pattern baldness, which is genetically driven. But for women, it's a little bit more complex because there are at least 7 different causes or contributing factors to hair loss, and then there can often be combinations of the two. So it really depends on what the cause is as to whether the hair will grow back. So I just want to give you a brief overview of what those causes can look like. And one, just like men, it's like women can have genetic predisposition, I guess you could say, to hair loss. And so genetics is definitely a factor. You know, if your mom had hair loss and your grandmother had hair loss, there is a higher chance that you may have hair loss. It's not, 100% written in stone, but that genetic factor is there. One of the other things, and I'll refer to my list to make sure I don't leave anything out, is alopecia. And there's different types of alopecia. One of the more common things now is traction alopecia. We're seeing a lot of that. And that, again, depends on whatever damage has been done. The traction alopecia I'll go into a little bit later, as well as alopecia areata, which is usually in a little circle, kind of quarter size, nickel size to quarter size, that you'll see in different spots on the hair. We'll talk a little bit about that at a later time. And there's alopecia totalis, and also I think I'm leaving out one, but where the whole head can be bald because of the alopecia, and some people experience hair loss over their complete body, but most of those are pretty rare. You know, all of the full head and the all over the body. So one of the next causes is illness. It's like we may know people, I know many people have experienced, cancers and that type of thing. And there's different illnesses that will contribute to hair loss, where you'll see it more prevalently. Another cause is medications, and a lot of times with the cancer itself isn't causing the hair loss, but the medications or treatments that are done for it. Many medications actually have side effects that include hair loss, high blood pressure medications, and there are quite a few others. So that's definitely a factor that can contribute. Hormonal imbalance, that affects a lot of women. All throughout our lives, we experience things with our hormones, and it definitely can contribute to whether our hair is growing or whether it's not growing. And in fact, hormonal causes are what actually contributes to male pattern baldness and to female pattern baldness as well. So that factor, some of the factors, I guess, kind of combine together. It's like the body is so connected. It amazes me. It continues to amaze me. And diet. It's like a lot of us are on the go. We grab something, fast food and all that kind of good stuff. What kind of nutrients are we getting into our bodies to actually have to nourish our hair? A few years ago, I noticed the frozen food section at the grocery store had grown. Like, when did we get 4 rows of all kinds of frozen food? And if you really look at a lot of those packages, there's not often a lot of good things in there that are going to nourish and nurture your body and or your hair. And so the diet definitely can be a contributing factor. And our last factor, and I feel like we need drum roll please, is stress. It's like when we're running all around and going here, going there, barely stopping to breathe or to even just take care of ourselves. We're just in a rush, have to get there. It's like it does play a role on our bodies, and it plays a role on our hormones, and it shows up a lot of times in our hair. And so those are the 7 factors that contribute to, or 7 potential causes that contribute to hair loss in women. And as I mentioned before, there can be combinations of them. So one of the good things I want to leave you with. The good news is that most of them, 5 out of the 7, and parts of one of the others, are all due to our internal health, and what's going on with our health and our wellness and our nutrition and those types of things. And it's like I love talking to women about how we can make really subtle changes that can make a huge difference in what we're seeing in terms of not only the quantity of the hair when we see hair loss or hair thinning, but the quality of the hair. Sometimes the hair just doesn't have that life that it used to have, and a lot of that has to do with what we're eating, what we're not eating, what's not in our foods, and just getting our health back in balance. And so if you would like to find out more information about getting your, how to get your health back in balance, and increase the likelihood of regrowing that hair, since that is one of the biggest questions: will it grow back? The chances are that it can grow back under certain conditions. And so I hope that gives you a little hope and a little sense of there is something that we can do to contribute to the health and welfare of our hair. It doesn't have to be an automatic sentence, due to age or due to any of these other factors that we just take it for granted that we're going to lose our hair. And it's like there are actions that we can take. So if I can be of service, answer any questions for you, feel free to let me know. Have a great day, and hope you have a happy and healthful day, and filled with a little bit of joy. Thanks.